And then after this secondary correction part, let's watch repositioning, keyframing, windowing, and tracking into our image. So starting from there, I want to add another node, and I want to start, tweaking my image. Maybe I don't like the framing, I don't like, something inside my image, and I want to make few tweaks. As we watched before, going there will help us to, make few changes into our images. Again, going into the edit, going into the inspector will help us to do the exact same thing. Selecting the clip, you can do this exact same thing here. But if we want to do that during the color correction, we can dedicate one node to this correction. So we can zoom our clip in, we can reframe it just a bit, and we can do all these things right here. We can flip it if we want, but it's nice in that way. And yeah, and that's the first thing about repositioning. It's really fast and really methodical. You can also use lens correction and zoom and everything like you do on the edit side. You can just choose to make few adjustments for the output. So maybe you want to have a different ratio or different zoom just for your output for the delivery, just for a node, a specific node, dedicate so all your tweaks to a specific node, and then a reference sizing if you're taking another image as a reference. So, but by the way, if you want to do all this at the main clip, you have to do this on your input sizing. Then if we want to do some specific corrections to our image, we want to work with windows. The cool thing about windows is that they isolate parts of our image and they help us tweaking our color correction or color grade even more. So let's say that I want to enhance the this ray of light from the top part of the image, and I want to create a window from there. We can just tweak on that part of the image. And by the way, these are something like special things, special grades that you may want to do during the grading. So you want to do maybe before or after your creative color grading. You just have to know that you are composing your notes and your clips in a serial way. So it's one after the other. And you have to know that basically what you're doing on this node will influence the other one. But by the way, I think you already get that. And maybe on this one, we want to create a drama look. We want to make that with the curve to be really fast. And by doing this and activating a window on our node, we will be focusing our modification, our tweaks, just on a specific area. I could do that on a circular area by inverting it on that way. I could do that on a shaped area. I can, make a few lines here and then customize the softness on the inside or on the outside. We can do it on a square area. But by the way, for this one, I want to do it with a gradient because it worked the best when it comes to, doing fake light from the top. I want to do something like this, then invert it, and then I want play with different masks. I want to add another mask there and invert that. And to let them, work together, you just have to play with the invert and that little graphical thing that you have here to, have them playing together. So I'm gonna delete this and deselect this in that way. So it will work like we have just these, highlights coming from the top, and it's great. And if you want to make adjustment, you just have to select one layer or the other, or you can deselect this if you don't want it. So we can just move it there. And the cool part about Windows is that you can create great, moods just by using them, but just by, placing them whatever you want. And you can focus the audience whatever you want just by placing that in the smarter way. And about that, you can also customize the softnet and the size transformation there. And this one play a really cool part with the keyframe, or better with the tracker. So we are creating this windows, and we want to track their movement because we want to have them placed inside our area in the right way, and we want to have them following maybe our action in this specific way. We may didn't even track them, but let me just add another window maybe there to emphasize this, and let me go inside my tracker and say to him that I want to focus on window. So the selected window, I'm gonna track it forward and backward, and it will track my subject remaining stuck on her. So right now I'm creating windows that follow my subject, and I'm just being creative with that. I can just create tons of windows that are doing different things. By the way, right now it will be not cool to track this, because as you can see, by tracking this it will follow the path and we will gonna lose that. We want to have it the way it is. It's cool. And yeah, working with windows, it's great because it helps you telling a better story and emphasize your look. You want to also use your tracker for visual effects. We'll talk about that later, but it works in the exact same way as Windows. We can also use it for stabilizing the shot. Maybe we want just generate a better image, a better stabilized image. And as we said, we can tweak that with 3 methodology. The first one is perspective, the second one is similarity, and the third one is translation. Perspective, it works with the perspective of the image, so for this one it won't work any better, as you can see. Similarity, it's like it remains similar to what we have in here. But by the way, looking at this image, it doesn't need that much of stabilization. And yeah, by the way, on this type of clip, similarity or translation will work fine. Translation is work when you are passing from one type of scene to another. It's supposed to work fine with it, and it's working fine there because we are moving between lines and things. And by the way, this is another great tool. But yeah, the tracker panel, it's always misunderstood. Some people think that it worked great just with Windows, but you can use it for tracking windows. You can use to stabilize your scene. And by the way, the tracker work wherever you are located if you want to use it for as a stabilizer. So you don't need to be placed on a specific node, because a stabilized clip will be marked right there with this little dot. And yeah, you can use it wherever you want, wherever you are on your clips. Then I'm gonna rename that as circular. Maybe I'm gonna talk. Yeah, I'm gonna call that Windows better. And we're gonna talk about keyframes with this Windows, because maybe we want to make few tweaks with this Windows. We want to emphasize this, dark areas as she move on. So keyframes are there. You want to press keyframe, and you, as you can see, as we said, we have all our corrector there. That stand for corrector 1, 2, 3. All the numbers are there, and we want to focus on the corrector number 6. That is this one. We want to place a keyframe there as a first keyframe, and then we want to move to there, this part, and make a few changes in the curves, just making darker like this. Then I want to come back and say the program that it has to start in that way. And so by doing that, my image, it's tweaking my curve in that way with just 2 keyframes. So keyframes are good if you want to generate different different things during your shot. You want to give motivation during a part of the shot. If you want to make an image stand out with darkness or light, you can also select the keyframe and change them to dynamic keyframe or static keyframe. By changing it to dynamic keyframe, this will be smoother, obviously, and we have to change it in that way. Yeah, it will be super smooth. You can also go into static keyframe. You can change it back to dynamic keyframe. Yeah, you can do lots of things there, and you can also change the attributes by there. The attributes are something like what this keyframe is doing from the point A to the point B. So if you want to be really smooth, so starting with a really smooth kick and ending with another smooth kick, we can do something like this maybe, and by pressing OK, you can see that it will be really smooth by going there. So keyframes helps you a lot. Just be sure to activate them and to be on the right corrector, because it's really easy to be confused. You can also see all the keyframe, or just one for the sizing or for the color, because you can just customize that. You can extend this if you want, or having it on a pocket version like this. I prefer to use it in that way. And yeah, that's it for repositioning, keyframing, and tracking. These are really handy tools that will help you tweaking your image. These are like, I don't know, cheating maybe, but these are really handy when it comes to before or after color grading. And these are essentially a must-know tool. And in the end, when you are like this, you can also say, I don't know, that in the end you want to tweak the key output, and you want to have it like this, smoother. Yeah, that's great. And yeah, this tree will help you achieving great result before or after the grading. Again, you are not supposed to use this in a specific part of the product. As I disable this, you can see that they could work just before or after the color grading. It's okay. You can just even detach them and add it to, I don't know, maybe another node, maybe adding this there, just before the secondary correction. Yeah, by the way, it works in a different way, but you can place it whatever you want. I usually make these tweaks after the color grading, but just to let you understand how window works and how the tracker work, I did that in that way. And yeah, these one are really simple. You just have to use it wisely, and you just have to use it whenever you may need them. On an image like this, as you can see, it's really cool to have it, because you are creating a lot of motivation. You're creating a lot of empathy into that part. You are focusing the people high inside there. And right now I made a little quick tweak, by moving my window here. And yeah, so you can generate everything by moving all those windows and all the stuff on your image. Again, repositioning, keyframing, and tracking, these three things will help you elevating the color correction or the after color grading part, whatever you want to place them. But by the way, will elevate your final result to focus attention to a specific part, to stabilize your image, or to have a better result with your final image and your final product.